So, the ISS. I've sometimes wondered how the ISS tracks across the sky. I have. I'm sure you probably have too. And some probably say, well, I know how it does. It goes up and it curves and it goes back down. Okay. And really, that's exactly what it appears to do. I'm trying to adjust my camera, is what I'm trying to do. Trying to adjust my camera a tad bit. Okay. So let me do this right here. Let me do this. I want to move this thing around. Just like that, you all. So they got this ISS. You got the International International Space Station is what we've got. That's what we got, you all. Let me come over here because we can do it. Now, wait a minute. I thought for sure I updated that picture, you all. Let me see if I did. Let me look at this. Hello, John Baxter. No, it did not let me update that. I did update that, you all. I promise you I did. I got to come over here and I got to fix it. Okay. Yeah, see, it didn't do me right. It put up the wrong picture. It put up the wrong picture of me. Hello, Jesus from Detroit. So let's look at this. So we got this ISS. And I like looking at it. I like looking at things from above, satellites and stuff. And just like other people, I'm curious as to what this great big old world of ours looks like from above. Okay, a lot of people are curious about it, and there's nothing wrong with us being curious. Nothing wrong at all, because curiosity, well, you find some answers when you become curious. Okay, you start to look and you start to learn. So that's wonderful. It really is wonderful to do that. Let me do this like here. I'm trying to get myself over here. Boom. Okay, we got it. So I was looking over here at this ISS. So let's go over here, you all, because this is pretty neat. So they got this right here from Spot the Station. Okay, they do. Can you all hear me? Over here. Gina, honey, you got to get yourself together. You all, I'm trying to get myself together. I'm just pushing these buttons and I'm clicking away. Can you all hear me? John and Jesus, can you hear me? Because I see you all on here. You just let me know if you can hear me. Hey, I like that heart and that flag. That looks really nice. This reminds me of like a race car. It really does. So first I better see if I can be... Okay, I've got my volume on. I really do got my volume on. So you all can hear me. That's wonderful. Okay, so let's go over here to this... how do I spot the station? So they say spot the station. So they use what? Wednesday, April the 25th. The maximum height is 66 degrees. So look at this. So what are they using? So let's see this, you all, because this is really interesting to look at this. That's great. So the International Space Station, let's look at this. It orbits with an inclination of 51.6 degrees. This means that as if it orbits, the farthest north and south of the equator it will ever go is 51.6 degrees latitude. Well, that's really interesting. It really is. When you went into these, these Stella Quarry or whatever those things where you go in on a field trip and you'd go into this room and it had a great big old curved dome and you could look up and you can see all the stars in the sky, and they actually did. They moved exactly like this ISS is pictured to move in the sky. It really is. So I'm wondering if when it does this, you all, this is like, if when it does this, it says if you, the ISS will never go directly over your head. Now, why not? This includes places like Alaska. Spot the Station may not properly inform you of all the visible station passes in these locations. Okay, so they'll give you a list of possible space station sightings in your location. So why won't it ever go above our head, you all? See, that's strange. Why can't it go straight above our head? I don't really see any reason why it couldn't. Mega Maniac. Yes, hello. I really don't see any reason why it couldn't go straight over our head, really. Because if you look at this even if you look right here, as it goes, it's going in loops like that. Why is it going in loops as it flies? Why do they show it doing that? Isn't that curious like that? Doesn't make you think, why do they have it going up and down and up and down like a roller coaster? I've never really thought about it before until looking at it. I really haven't. I don't know if you've thought about it. Why do they have it going up and down on this diagram right here? And so it seems kind of strange. Hello, let's look at this. So we have all of this. Oh, so you got somebody down here. They got somebody down here at the bottom. This is a person down here. I think that's what they got. Person down here. And as they look up into the sky, it looks like the ISS stops at 31 degrees. Why would it stop at 31 degrees? Why would it? See, that seems kind of strange to me. Do you all know why? Because I don't know why either. And it's never going to go directly above your head. So this person could be standing in this spot, or this person could be standing in this spot. And they said that it will never go directly above your head. That doesn't make sense to me. Why wouldn't it go above my head? Why couldn't I, no matter where I'm at in the world, why wouldn't I be able to look up and see that going over my head? Because surely somebody at some point in time, at somewhere on this earth, would be able to see it going above their head. It would make sense. It really would make sense that they would be able to. But they said, now let's see, if you live north or south of 51.6 degrees, the ISS will never go directly over your head. And this includes places like Alaska. So why is it? So it's north or south at 51.6 degrees. I know that there's a lot of people who are into like astronomy and all of this, like, I don't know, this data right here, these 51.6 degrees and things like that. I know there's bound to be. There's bound to be. Okay. So really, and this is another thing I'm wondering right here. So I keep pushing the wrong button. Let me put this back to me if you can see me on here. Let me see. So if we look at this thing right here, I don't even know why they have a model like this, but they've got like a little ball inside of here, and I don't think you can see it. It just spins around. But this thing, well, it just spins around too. It spins around on an axis. Okay, and the top of this really kind of does. Let's talk about that. The top of this kind of looks like the flat part of this. It does. It looks like the flat part of this. So why does it look like the flat part of this right here? See, and why don't we see like this has a bottom part of it? Why don't we see a bottom part of this? Okay, because surely this ISS, if it wants to, and it does, okay, it does, it goes all around the world like this. And it should go down here also, not just up here at the top like it's being depicted, like it only has this flat plate right here. You can see it's all it got is a flat plate. And it just shows this diagram right here. So if you live at 51.6 degrees south or north, you will never see it go directly above your head. That's what they say. So I'm wondering why we don't have the diagram going down on this thing, okay? And I tried to show this like this and use my pointer, but can you see the flat area? If I were to put this flat area right here, let me do this you all. If I was to take this flat area and put it right here, that's all we see of this. Okay, right here, that's it. We just see the flat top. Why don't we see it, why don't we see it flat on the bottom like this? Why don't we? Why don't we see this part? And why don't we see the ISS as it goes underneath this? Why don't we? Why do we only see it on top of the plane like this with the flat plate? Okay, that's what I'm wondering. Okay, I'm just now looking at it. I'm wondering why we don't. Okay, and this making my arm tired because this thing right here weighs a lot. I guess it's solid brass. Okay, I guess. So that's looking at that right now. Just now brought that to my mind. Why don't we do that? Why can't we see it, you all? That's what I'm wondering. Hello. Yeah, someone in Burna. Okay, that was me, you all. That was me. I was pushing the button. So let's look at that. So they said, if you live north or south of 51.6 degrees, the ISS will never go directly above your head. So that's the astronomical horizon right there. This whole entire spot right here is the astronomical horizon. See, isn't that interesting? So they say, let's see right here. The International Space Station is seen in 30-second exposure as it flies over Elkton, Virginia, early in the morning, right here, like a big old thing of light. Like a big old thing of light, it says, in a 30-second exposure. Now, I'm wondering, does it really fly that fast? I really am wondering why does it fly that fast? Raw. I know the theory that the Earth is flat in a dome, and you know the ISS is being depicted as it has this type of a. Let's see. I thought I seen the word dome on here. Okay. It says this is the optimum viewing period of the sun. Let's look. The maximum height that it can go. So it represents the height of the space station from horizontal to horizon to horizon. Okay, the horizon is at 0 degrees. And directly overhead is 90 degrees. Well, what about directly underneath the horizon? What about on the other side of the Earth, you all? So, are we to assume that, let's see, if the horizon is at 0 degrees and directly overhead it's 90 degrees, so it's 90 degrees above the horizon's that way. So is the Earth split in half? Is the Earth split in half, you all? If it's 90 degrees one way, that's considered a horizon. And if it's 90 degrees another way, is that considered a horizon? Okay. Is the horizon 90 degrees no matter where you're at? Right where I'm at, it's considered right at 90 degrees no matter where I'm at also? Is that what I'm supposed to gather? Now, I'm not an expert at all. I'm very a novice. And I'm just curious about this right here, you all. I am. So, is that why we have something like this that just spins, and any one of these places on here is going to be considered my horizon? Is it going to be considered your horizon too, no matter where you're at? Because it spins, and at any point on this Earth, that's considered the horizon. Okay, is it? At 90 degrees? Do they adjust the 90 degrees for every single spot on the face of the Earth? Does it all start at 90? The horizon start at 90 degrees no matter where you're at on the face of the Earth? That's what I'm thinking. Does it? Yeah, I'm just asking a question. And somebody must say, Gina, honey, come on now. Well, I'm just asking a question, you all. I really am. Let me see. Let me see the spot station opportunities. These are opportunities that we have to spot the station right here. All of these opportunities. Now, wait a minute. I really did think, according to, let me tell you what I think. According to, say, something like this, I thought it always had loops that it goes down. Does it adjust the loops all the time? Does it adjust the paths? So are these paths, these lines that it's going down? Let me show you. Are these lines, let's get to that page. Are they always going to go down these lines right here? Is this one path if these lines are connected? Could we indeed take these lines, these loops that they go down, and could we connect the dots in the loops that they make? Is that how it works? Because I know that the space station is not going to go like this, zigzagging all around, okay? They're not going to zigzag all around like that, okay? So if we could spot these, then they'd have to be overhead in these areas. But why not overhead? Right? Why not overhead? Oopsie. In 51.6 degrees north and 51.6 degrees south. Why won't you get to see the ISS? Okay, because they're both, one is the opposite end of the other. Okay, it is the opposite end of the other. Let's look at this. So this is the tracker. Let's see if we can see something. That's where it's at right now. Okay, that's where it's supposed to be right now, you all, right here. So why do we have the ends of the Earth? From one end, from the north to the south, that's as far as we can see it. If you live there, you don't get to see it, you all. That's what I'm wondering. AJ206, well, the ISS, really, it's not fake. It is a low Earth orbit satellite, okay? It's a low orbit satellite. Okay, let's look at the low Earth orbiting satellites, okay, because they do exist. Satellites do exist. Okay, they do. Okay, let's look at this. These are low Earth orbiting satellites right here. They exist. Okay, so the ISS, I just want to say right now, the ISS is not fake. Okay, it is a low Earth orbiting satellite, and it does fly low Earth over the Earth in low Earth orbit. Okay, it does. I want to make that clear. It does. But I'm wondering why we can't see it in certain areas. Really, that's what I'm talking about. See, look at all these other low Earth orbiting satellites. Look at this one. What is this? The low Earth orbit. So look, we got the outer Van Allen belt. We got this Earth. Okay, and what if this Earth? This is the only. What if it has something underneath it, you all? Something like that. I just want to look how low Earth orbiting satellite systems work. So they make loops. Okay, do they just make loops from north to south, east to west? Is that what they do? And they just keep looping. They go down here and they come back around. Is that what happens, you all? Because there's many low Earth orbiting satellites in orbit. There's all kinds of them. Look at this, you all. Look at these fragments and stuff like that. Oh my gosh, look at this. Low Earth Orbit Satellite Internet Risk Summit. Did you know that there was a Low Earth Orbit Satellite Internet 2016 Risk Summit? That looks like a net. Does that not look like a net over the Earth, you all? That looks like the Earth is shrouded in a net. Okay, it really does. And that would take a lot of satellites to put that Yeah. Put this like that. Oopsie. Yeah. Now, let me talk to you, AJ. I'm not on here to argue. Okay, I'm not. And if I want to use this right here as a visual, I'm going to use this right here as a visual because this is my YouTube channel, okay? I can use this as a visual and compare it. And if I wanted to get out a snow globe, I would also hold that up also. And if it had a little man in it, I would hold that up too, and I would put that on here, but I just don't have one at my disposal. Okay, I don't. I don't have an earth globe in this house. Okay, so yeah, AJ, honey, that's right. And you know what? Let me tell you, AJ 206. I don't have a problem. Okay, if you've ever come to this channel and you've watched me periodically, I don't have a problem with the flat Earth theory at all. I don't. And I don't have a problem with the spinning ball theory. I don't. But what I do have a problem with is when people want to argue one way or the other. Okay, that's what I have a problem with because they're not coming from a position of love. Okay, they're not. You've got to come from a position of love, and you got to just be kind and considerate. Okay, you can. See, I don't mind, but when you come out here and with an accusatory tone, I don't like it. I don't like it, okay? I don't. So I don't have a problem with the flat earth theory. Okay, I don't. I don't have a problem with the globe. I don't. I don't have a problem at all with any of it. I don't. So yeah, that's right. Yeah. Sad. Oh, well, see, you just know. You know what? He don't. Yeah, that's right. That's okay. We can. Did you, Applebrooks, honey? Did you take care of him because he was rude and disrespectful? See, that's what I have a problem with. I do. I don't like it. I don't like people speaking down to me. If you are like that, and it's not because it's the topic he's talking about. It's the type of person that he is. He wants to speak down to people. And I don't like it. Now, he already ran his mouth too much and he got his self hidden. And that's what's going to happen. If you come on here and you speak down, you're being rude. And I don't like rudeness. Okay, I don't. And you're just a big distraction. Okay, is what you are. And you get yourself in trouble. That's what happened. You got kicked out of the classroom is what happened. I didn't even get to send you. You got sent to the corner and you still didn't learn. And then you got yourself kicked out of the classroom. Okay, that's right. You got kicked out of the classroom. So I'm sorry, you all. Okay, Marlo. See, I don't have a problem with your comment, Marlo. Yes, flat with affirmative. You can say that. I don't mind at all. I don't, because this looks like a globe right here beside me, and this literally, it looks like it has a flat sphere right here. It does, and I'm wondering, and I'm just being curious. Okay, let's say that. I'm wondering why you can't see the ISS go over you if you are 51.6 degrees south or 51.6 degrees north. Okay, and why the highest point of the ISS is like a 66 degrees. Okay, why is that? Yes, that's right. So I'm just trying to show a visual. Okay, I really am. And let people come to their own conclusions, okay? I am. So that's what gets me, you all. That really does get me. But that's okay. And I'm sitting here thinking, I'm trying to talk about this net, this low Earth satellite internet 2016 Risk Summit org. I didn't even know they had it. But really, if you got a lot of satellites up there in low Earth orbit, yes. Tanya Bickle, honey, that's okay. We're supposed to think, okay? We're supposed to think. We are. It's okay. Yeah. So if that right here, let's click into that. I don't know where that's going to take us. I hope you have sound. Do y'all got sound on here? Do y'all got sound? Because I got sound where I'm at. I do. Oh, it says something. My Norton has blocked an attack. Somebody gave me a web attack right now. Unwanted browser notification website. Oh, you all got some sound. That's great. That's wonderful, you all. So I didn't know they had something like this, you all, but they do. Apple Brooks, honey. Thank you, Apple Brooks. So look. So let's look at this. Nintendo Switch Lite is what it says on the box. Oh, what happened? They haven't got this available. Amazon plans to launch a constellation of 3 satellites into low Earth orbit in order to provide internet unserved and undeserved. Oh, that's not very nice. Oh my gosh, unserved and undeserved, you all. Do you see that right there? Oh my goodness gracious. And then they talk about SpaceX will initially launch service to North America, but once its in full array is in place, the company has plans to roll the service across the entire planet. Ostensibly, anywhere with access to open skies could be covered, and Amazon has global aspirations for its project as well. I didn't know they both were into it together, you all. So, yeah, so that's right there. So whatever that video was, it got itself in trouble. Yes. So that's okay, you all. So there really is a risk of low Earth orbiting satellites. Look at this. How low can satellites go? Oh wow, you all. That's a really good question. It really is a good question. How low can a satellite go? Let's look at this. It looks like I'm on like a 2-minute delay on here, you all. It really does on my channel. I hope I'm not 2 minutes behind, because if I am, they're monitoring everything I'm doing. Okay, I'm good. We are good, you all. Look at this. So, ground schematic overview. Commercial ground stations. Okay. We have a third-party cloud. What are these things? Future satellites and things like that. Ground satellites. Okay, so you all, they got all this kind of stuff. And they do, you know, and it's technology keeps increasing. Technology keeps advancing. It does. It's like non-stop. I wanted to see how low it could go. It's like that song, How Low Can You Go? Oh, this is from Forbes, you all. We can see this. How low can satellites go? Yes. Oh, okay. So how low can they go? Can I click out of this, because I didn't know what they could do. Earlier this month, San Francisco started a call-up observant, announced it had won a development contract with Air Force AF Works optical imaging satellite. So satellites which fly in low Earth orbit typically ascend to an altitude of 500 kilometers, 310 miles or higher above the Earth. And so that's 310 miles. I never knew that. Well, how high do airplanes fly? How high do airplanes fly? How high? I spelt it wrong. I put a C in it. How high do airplanes fly? So, airplanes, a typical commercial airliner flies around 38,000 to 40,000 feet in the air. 38 to 40,000. Okay. And a satellite, well, that's 310 miles. Okay. So, airplanes are between 5.6 miles and 7.6 miles to about 12.2 miles. And they're saying that low Earth orbit satellites fly 310 miles in the sky. Well, that's really interesting. So that is interesting. So satellites are 310 orbits in the miles in the sky. Airplane is 6 to 7 up to 10 miles in the sky. Well, that's what. Let's look at this. By 2025, the number of man-made objects sent into space will surpass 1,100. Most will be stationed in low Earth orbit. LEO. SpaceX. No, I don't want to subscribe to you. Okay, so let's see. I want to see about this SpaceX. A prime example it has launched over 600 satellites for its Starlink broadband internet constellation and plans to launch thousands. So let's see. They're building 120 small stats each month, and the Federal Communications Commission has approved SpaceX scheme to build out the Starlink constellation to 12,000 satellites. The company has applied for the rights to add 30,000 more. 30,000 more satellites. So you got Amazon wants some LEO satellites, low Earth orbit. They want around 1,000. Low flying fish. Earth's observant stingray is a 400-pound, 8-foot by 8-foot optical imaging satellite with a space shuttle-like body or bus. And it's called the bus of the industry. You all, so if you've been seeing this flying around, have you all been seeing this flying around right here, you all? Because what if you're looking up in the sky and you're seeing something like that flying around right there? Because that kind of looks like a triangle, and it kind of looked like a spaceship. Okay, it really does. A triangle and a spaceship. Okay, it is. Now SpaceX, let's talk about SpaceX is not fake. Okay, SpaceX is an actual company. Okay, it's an actual thing that does exist. Okay, it does. So these satellites, they look like, if you were to look up in the sky and see something like this, if I were to look up in the sky and see something like this, well, you know, that's it. I would think that it's a UFO, especially if I had no knowledge of it before. I'd think, oh, well, that's a UFO. So look at this. The privately held startup is comprised of veterans of the satellite industry. Yeah. That's right, you all. So this is really interesting. I did not know that they had something that looked like whatever that thing looked like, and now it's already turned right there. This is unique low-flying satellite bus. It's a rapid constellation refresh. It's adjustable in orbit altitude, and at low capex costs, it has a 5-year lifespan. It's highly maneuverable. It's direct to theater. It's exponential signal increase. Closer is better. It's a lower latency. It's better resolution. It's faster orbital speed and less radiation. Less radiation. So look at that. It's an 8 by 8 foot, 400-pound stingray flying up in the air. So that's really interesting. They got a stingray satellite flying up in the air, and it's low flying, but they didn't say, okay, yeah, they did. It's 500 kilometers or some satellites. This is 250 kilometers flying in the air right here. So 250 kilometers. Wow, that is really low Earth. So that could be flying over our head. And okay, that could fly over our head, and they don't say that we won't be able to see it, okay, because we probably could see it flying. But back to this space station tracking right here, you all. Hello. Yes, it is a stingray. It's kind of reminds me of, what was that one? Military, the stealth bomber. Okay, the stealth, you know, when we lived on, well, we lived in Nevada, in Henderson, Nevada, and my husband was stationed at Nellis Air Force Base. I think that's when it came out about the stealth bombers. People were seeing something in the air, and they were keeping it hush-hush. That's what they were doing. So they do have advanced aircraft and stuff and things like that, satellites, that they don't let the news out, okay? And people will see them. If I saw that bus up in the sky, I'd be thinking that, hey, that is a, let's put that link here. I'd think, hey, that looks like a UFO. I really would think it. Let me put the link right here. You are welcome. For coming on here. Thank you, Apple Brooks, honey. Yes. Yes, that's okay, you all. So that's really interesting. So, you know, you can come over here and you can do the spot the station right here. I'm not going to be on here much longer because really, I just wanted to say that they said that you cannot see the ISS space station if you're 51.6 degrees north or 51.6 degrees south. You will not be seeing it flying over your head. You won't, for some strange reason. And I guess that's okay. I guess it is, you all. 51.6 degrees. What's that, 51.6 degrees? Yeah. We got the. Okay. How about we look at this? The 51st parallel, but they didn't say it. The 51st parallel north is a circle of latitude that is 51 degrees north of the Earth's equatorial plane, and it crosses Europe, Asia, the Pacific Ocean, North America, the Atlantic Ocean. At this latitude, the sun is visible for 16 hours, 33 minutes during the summer solstice and 7 hours, 55 minutes during the winter solstice. And the capital cities between the 51st and 52nd parallel are London and Nur Sultan. So, that's interesting. 51.6 degrees. I wonder what they said. Yeah, because that's what they said. If you live on the 51st parallel, because that's what it is, kind of, I guess, 51.6 degree latitude, the ISS will never, ever, ever, ever go directly over your head. And that means even if you're in Alaska. Okay, even if you're in Alaska. So, yeah, that is really interesting. It is. I think that is. What else are they talking about? Is it spooky? I don't think it's spooky. Why is it? Why? Look at this. Why is the ISS at 51.6 degrees orbital inclination? Traditionally, NASA vehicles launched from the Cape go into orbits with an inclination of 28 degrees, the latitude of Cape Canaveral. Russian vehicles typically launch into orbits with an inclination of 51.6 degrees. So, EOL. The station travels from west to east at on an orbital inclination of 51.6 degrees. Each orbit takes 90 to 93 minutes. So that's how long it takes, I guess, from the ISS to go from one point to the other, then it comes right back. That's what it sounds like it's doing. It's going from west to east, goes up in the air like that, and it takes 90 to 93 minutes. And then you're going to see it come back again up in the air. But okay, what I want to know is, what happens when you don't see it go underneath the Earth? Because I did say that. I said, because this right here has an underneath on it, you all. It does. Just like that, it's underneath. This flat plane has an underneath. And I wonder why they don't show it like that. But that's okay. We don't need to know. We don't really, I guess. It doesn't matter. So let's look at this. So during that time, the part of the Earth is viewed under darkness. Why is it viewed under darkness, you all? And part under daylight. The ISS orbital altitude drops gradually over time due to the Earth's gravitational pull. So, the 51st parallel. Mass versus weight, International Space Station. So, there's got to be something else something much more to that 51st parallel, you all. Wait a minute. I know I spelt it wrong. I'm just trying to see if I could get it, you all, but I can't get it. I wanted to see if latitude and UFOs. No, I really can't get that. Okay, they all seem to be doing this. GPS of 51st parallel. Japanese satellite, 51.6 degrees. They want to write the Morse code. Is that what they say? That's okay, you all. I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to dig any more into it. Okay, I'm not. I'm not going to dig any more into it, but what I wanted to know is, and look at that. If you see this up in the sky, it is probably, it's this right here. It's called the bus, is what it's called. Okay, it is. So let me put this back to me. Okay, I think I'm done. I think I'm done, you all talking. I really am, and I was just wondering why they had to depict this ISS like that. I did. And I held this right here up like this because, you know, this could be, let me shrink this down because this could be, like, to be, okay, so this would fit right here. Let me hide my face right here. Let me, wait, I can make myself a tad bit bigger, and I will. Let me get myself over this image right here. Okay, I've got it. Okay, let me put myself down right here. So I'm even blocking myself. So let's click it, you all. We got to get it right. Gina's got to get it right. So this is the top of this. Okay, it really is. It's the top of this. And you can only see the ISS on the going up like at the top, okay? At the top. And I wondered why. I'm just asking you a question because, you know, it's straight. Wondered why we don't see the ISS underneath there like that, really. And you can only see it at the, what would they say, 90 degrees, the horizon at 90 degrees that's where the horizon is. So that's really interesting like that. And it's always dark. Okay, it's always dark when it goes somewhere. Okay, that's what happens. It's dark when it goes somewhere. And that's okay, you all. It is. It's all right. It's all right. That's what it is. Something's more. Okay, look like what. Okay, you said the Area 51. Now, why did they have to name that Area 51? Because at 51.6 degrees, you cannot see the ISS if you're north or you're south. At 51.6, at the 51st parallel. And now we got the Area 51. Okay, there might be something to there might be something to that number 51. It really might, the axis points, you all. That's right. Yeah, Douglas. Well, we spoke about that before, and that is a good question. Why does the land disappear when you're selling the ocean's waters? If it is flat, land would be visible no matter how far out to sea you are. See, that's a good question too. That's a very good question. It really is. Sometimes it looks like it's in an oasis. The further you look, it's like you can't see that far. Why? Because I think it just goes just like that, like it comes to a point like that. Yeah, that's okay. The White Sand Missile Range, Area 51 too. Yeah, so you all, it's really interesting, but it's neat that they depicted it as that, and it does. The ISS does go up and down, and I like looking at the satellite images as it goes up because it does capture some UFOs at times. It really does, and some other interesting things. It's certainly a good internet tool to use. It is, and it is real. The ISS tracker is real. It is a low Earth orbit satellite, and indeed there are many low Earth orbiting satellites, and yeah, airplanes fly around, what did it say, 7 miles up in the air, and these satellites are, what, 350 miles or something up in the air, so they're a lot higher than the airplanes. So that's pretty interesting too. It really is. Oh, you're so very welcome, you all, and thank you all for coming on here, and thank you, Apple Brooks, for being on here. Yes, that's great. So I'm going to go, you all, but that's something to think about, really. It is. There's a lot to think about in this world that is not negative, really. A lot which you could be thinking about because it will keep your vibration up. It really can. Yeah. You're so welcome. I'm going to go, and with that being said, hello wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello from my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon, you all. Thank you. And it's good to talk. It is. It's good to look at different theories, and it was really exciting to know that they had a super low Earth orbit satellite that looked, they called it the bus, and it's 8 by 8, and it's what, 400 pounds, and it looks like a triangle with the top of its nose cut off. And it takes really good high resolution pictures. Yes, have a beautiful day. You all, love you.